Clwyd, thanks for joining us. Just the first point to you, Elfyn, if I may. Lots of first-time buyers in Wales will be very happy with the stamp duty proposal. What do you make of it?
Yes, a very good move, I have to say. I'm very, very pleased about that. But I think this whole budget is underpinned by the fact that fuel duty will be going up. And let's not be kidding ourselves about it being below inflation. It's been split into $3. And when you look at the situation between December 08 and the beginning of next year, fuel duty has gone up by a whopping 17%. And those first-time buyers will be affected by that, as will everybody, particularly those on low incomes. So it's a very bad budget from that point of view.
Angus Robertson?
Well, I totally agree, and of course everybody's trying to avoid a double-dip recession, but the Chancellor seems to be doing his best to undermine economic recovery by putting up fuel duty in the way that Elfyn has described, 17%. I think everybody watching this broadcast will know how expensive it has come to fill their car or their van that's important for work. And another important missed opportunity in this budget was the reprofiling of spending. The UK government could have brought forward spending, and unfortunately they haven't done that. So effectively the UK is the only G7 country with no stimulus package. And I think when we're trying to get ourselves out of the downturn, that is a real missed opportunity. Of course, on top of that, in Scotland we have this whammy of Labour cutting frontline spending by £800 million to the Scottish Government. So what the Labour Party is doing is exactly what the Tories plan, which is cuts, cuts, cuts.
Elfyn Clwyd, just in terms of the overall picture, what do you make of the credibility of plans to bring down borrowing over the next 3 or 4 years?
Well, I don't, actually. Mr Darling's figures are always optimistic. He's always hoping that something will come round the corner to save him. And when you actually look at what we've got, currently what we understand, these are savage cuts ahead of us. The departmental expenditure limits for Wales are down by 5% for this next year, which is huge. But the overall capital investment between 09 and 2113 will be down by 64%. This is very bad news. Back to personal stuff again. He said some months ago that personal allowances would be frozen. That was at a time when the RPI was at 0. The RPI now is 3.7, so therefore that's another stealth tax.
Just a final point to you, Mr Robertson. Gordon Brown was saying the other day that Scotland over the past 13 years has done rather well from investment and decisions that he made as Chancellor, so it's not really the time to complain when everyone's under pressure.
That's right. I think, wasn't it Gordon Brown who said we're going to end boom and bust? No, it doesn't matter if you're in Scotland, in Wales and England or Northern Ireland. We are all feeling the pain of the Downing Street downturn under one Gordon Brown, who was Chancellor and now Prime Minister. The difference is that in Scotland and Wales, people have the opportunity to vote in the general election for parties that are actually going to put the interests of everybody in Scotland and Wales first. And if there's a balanced Parliament, we will do everything that we can to make sure we don't have this kind of silly decision-making at Westminster. Let's cut something sensible, like £100 billion of Trident that nobody wants.
Absolutely. ID cards as well.
Angus Robertson, Elfyn Clwyd, thanks for joining us on this budget special today. Well, now then, just as